Hey, Scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with a life crafted album page, and this is going to be my second to last one in my very first life crafted album for the year. Can you believe I have filled up an album already? It is insanity. I am a chonky scrapbooker, so that is why I think I'm going to go through a lot of these albums this year, and I'm okay with that. I went through a lot of Traveler's Notebooks last year, and now at least they're nice and protected in albums, so let's go. Anyway, I'm actually using the Cocoa Daisy New Chapter collection because look at how perfectly that beautiful color palette goes with these photos. And I'm going to be scrapbooking some of the house redecorating that I've been doing obsessively for the last few weeks. I have become a crazy plant lady. I have been finding all of the decorative stuff in my garage and buying new decorative stuff because I don't know, we got these couches and I got tired of living in this temporary state, even though we are going to try and move this summer. I just got tired of living like that. So anyway, I'm going to emulate some of this watercolory vibe with inks and a blending tool on this black and white paper. So I'm not going to try and make it look the same. I'm just going to try and add in some color to the edges of this paper just so that it not blends, but so that it just kind of mimics it and has the same sort of feel as the other pages, and just because I wanted to play. So I chose 3 Catherine Pooler inks. One is Eucalyptus, one is Mint to Be, and I think the other one's Party Dress. I don't know, I missed it. So I'm going to actually add some ink to the outside of the paper. So I'm inking directly on the glass mat from Tim Holtz, and I'm going to sort of use that to spread it onto the paper slowly. So a tip I picked up from Jennifer McGuire, I believe. I was watching some of her videos on ink blending, and so I picked this tip up, and I don't know if these inks are drier than the ones that she uses or if I'm just not grabbing enough, but you can see the green worked out real well, but the pink and the mint were a little bit harder to get off of the glass mat and on to the paper. So I did just spray some with water, which will actually give it some of that watercolory effect that is on the other paper, just slightly, so that I could get a little bit more off of that page. So you can see I went all the way around the outside edges, and that one dark spot up there underneath the photo was no big deal because I knew it was going under the photo. So now I'm going to start my embellishing, and I wanted to take that true story and put it right in the center of that photo collage, and I wanted to use these scribbly wood veneer circles because I hadn't used them yet with this collection, and this collection is verging on kaput. So I wanted to use some of the things that I hadn't used yet, and so that was one of my goals with this page, was to use those circles up. So I'm also going to be grabbing some black ink and stamping these flowers. I've used these flowers on pages already, but I'm going to use them again because obviously I'm scrapbooking about plants in some ways, so I wanted to add in some plants. So I'm just going to messy stamp them coming out from underneath that photo and down here in this corner as well. It's just kind of a counterpoint to the one up above. And then I'm going to take the other floral outline stamp from the stamp set, and I'm going to add it to the clusters as well. You can see it kind of creates a visual triangle the way that I have stamped the clusters. And now I can build on the clusters with these circles. So I knew I wanted to repeat the motif of the scribbly circles with something in the middle, so I'm just going to put these down, and I realized when I put this one down that they are 2 on top of each other, so I'm going to move this one over slightly. Okay, so now I've got my circles down, and you can see how well it matches. And now I'm just looking for circles to go in the middle, and this one was just a little bit too small. So I'm going to grab a different one. I don't normally like overly date my pages, but that one fit perfectly, so in it went. And I'm going to use a blue one for up here to pull some of that blue up off of the background. So I was struggling just a touch with this flap because I knew I liked it and I wanted it to be the way that it was, but I didn't love the way that the two watercolor papers looked back to back, and so I was kind of avoiding working on that side for the moment while I thought it through. I'm going to take that cozy and warm and I'm going to cover up my barbells or my dumbbells in the background because they were bugging me in the picture. And then I'm just creating little clusters on the page while I kind of contemplate what I want to do on the other side. I want to take this journaling strip. I have no idea what I'm going to journal because obviously there's a big block of journaling on the other page, but I really like the way that it looked as a mat. So I'm going to like shove it underneath this circle, and I'm going to look for, oh yes, this taking the time word strip was just a little bit too long to go where I wanted it to go, so I just pulled it back up and stuck it back under the circle again, a little bit higher. There we go, taking the time. Then I want to use up these cute little hearts, but the color palette on a couple of them doesn't quite match. So I'm going to grab a arrow instead. And I still feel like there needs to be something up here in this top part just to finish the line from the top to the bottom of the page. So I'm going to put this focus on the good, which is appropriate for this because we really aren't happy in this house. So by decorating it and enjoying the space anyway, I feel like I'm focusing on the good. There we go. Okay, so now I need to figure out the others, or the little flappy part. Oh, first, gotta put centers in these flowers with some dots. Okay, then I need to figure out the other side of the page, and what I end up doing is deciding that I want the watercolor side to not be together, especially when I start pulling in whatever journaling card I want to pull in. I just cannot make this look the way I want it to look. So I'm going to match this journaling card on a couple different mats. So I'm going to pull out some of my papers. I just had to go black and white and bold, and this black and white polka dot is super bold, but I'm only going to pull a little bit behind this paper, or behind this journaling card, so it's not too overwhelming. So I'm going to get that matted, and then I'm going to add another mat underneath it again because it's still not quite, it's still too bold, basically. It's like, that's just too much for me still. So I do glue it down, but then I decide it's just too much. So I'm going to grab another piece of paper. I'm going to do the, I believe the same teal that's on the other side, because I felt like that pulled it all together once I got another paper down underneath it. Oh, it's not the same teal, but it is a teal. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to turn this so that the photo is on the other side and these two watercolor papers stack on top of each other. So I have to turn the photo back right side up because I'm flipping the whole thing over. But it doesn't matter if the paper tears a little bit because I'm just putting it right back down. Okay, so now I can mat this here, and that fits together a little bit better than before. So now I just have to finalize the page and I am good to go. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. If you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Tracy M. Reed. I'd love to see you over there as well. And I will see you next time. Thank you.